All right, what is going on, guys? It's been 2, 3 years, something like that, since the last time I made a video. So decided to start off pretty basic today, and as the video describes, what do I keep in my gym bag? So there's thousands of YouTube videos out there like this, and everyone covers their own things, but I just want to kind of give you guys my insight on the equipment that I use. I don't really choose to push like a lot of gear that people need to be wearing, so you don't need to come into the gym fully kitted up with a full compression suit on. But over my time of lifting, there are some things that I've found that have really helped me out whenever it's doing like compound lifts or small things like that. So I just want to share some of my insights with you guys today, and if you like it, definitely go out and try it and let me know. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing is pre-workout. So for me, as you guys know, I'm a huge advocate of all the 1st Phorm products. I've been with the company for about 4 years now, and I strongly recommend every single one of their products. The pre-workout that I use right here is Project One. This is their new Candy Burst flavor. If you guys were ever a fan of like the Fun Dip growing up, if you were kind of like me and you ate the stick and not the powder, this tastes exactly like how that stick does, almost mixed with a little bit of like gummy worms flavor to it. So I take 1 scoop of this and about 8 to 10 ounces of water 30 minutes before my workout. That kind of sets a tone for me. So we're going to start from the ground up kind of approach. So footwear. So I've tried a lot of different footwears out there. I've tried tennis shoes, I've tried Vans, I've tried the wedge lifters, things of that nature. And the one shoe that I found that really has stuck with me because I have a flat foot are NoBulls. These things I've had for probably about 6 to 8 years now. And for the price of $130, they're absolutely worth it. These things are so durable. They fit like a glove. You can literally beat the hell out of them, and they're just going to remain durable the entire time. They've got a nice flat sole. There's no real arch in them or anything like that. So especially if like you choose to squat them or deadlift them, you're not going to have any excess movement in your heel. So that's footwear. It's absolutely important. You can definitely choose to use Vans or Converse as well. Sometimes I squat in Vans, but Converse, my feet don't really fit well with Converse. So pick your option right there. Moving up is knee sleeves. So to be honest, I don't really wear knee sleeves as often as I used to. These are the Slingshot ones. I just haven't found myself squatting super heavy in the past probably like year. One of the things that I've been doing with my training is focusing on time under tension, using lighter weights but really controlling the movement through the entire rep range, and really just making the muscles work instead of anybody can throw 315 on there and just jump up and down for a quarter squat. But when you can control it from the start point all the way down to the bottom point and really wear yourself out in a few short reps, it's going to be a bigger bang for your buck. Knee sleeves, the thing about them is they help to keep your knees warm, and sometimes when people go down and they squat, you kind of get stuck in the hole. By keeping your knees warm, it's able to help push you up and to get you out of that hole. Some people like to wrap them. To be honest, I have no experience whatsoever with wrapping my knees, so that's never been an option for me. I've just always stuck with the knee sleeves because all you do is you just sit down, pop your shoe off, pull it up, keep it nice and tight, and you're good to go. Moving on up, we've got a belt. So when it comes to a belt is definitely one of the very few pieces of equipment that I absolutely would strongly suggest that anybody get. They've got Cardillo belts, they've got leather belts. It's really up to you. Some people, they like a thicker belt, so whereas it's thicker back here, it'll be thicker the whole entire way around. It's more for like your power lifters. They've got 2 different types. Outside of that, they have the lever locks Yet again, more for power lifters, strongmen, and then they have just the simple, just the prong one. The thing that I like most about the prong one is you don't have to take the belt apart to be able to adjust it for where you need it on your waist. And let's not forget, so the main purpose of the belt, guys, the belt is not designed to help get you stronger. The purpose of the belt is to give your core something to brace against when you're getting ready to lift. So you take that deep breath in and you're able to brace and push your abdominal wall against that belt. It's not meant to be something that's like a cool type of piece where you just walk around in the gym with it, especially when you're not doing a compound lift. That's one of my biggest pet peeves is guys will just literally, guys, girls, whoever, will just wear this around all day and they'll just be like sitting there talking on a machine and they just have it on the entire time. Make sure you guys do a little bit of research on proper belt placement too. Usually one of the biggest things is people will take the belt off and they'll bring it kind of like literally sitting right above their hip and they'll crank it in like this, and then you have like a weird awkward angle. Me personally, yet again, feel it out. I like to bring it up a little bit higher, so almost at my belly button height, and then I'll literally just bring it in, cinch it down nice and tight, prop the prong in, do a little bit of adjustment, and then I'm good to go. To do your research on belts, guys, leather, Cardillo weight, it's completely up to you on that one. Moving up a little bit further on the body, we're gonna go into kind of some wrist accessories. So for people who like to bench heavy a lot and do like a lot of dumbbell work, high volume work, one of the biggest things is when you're benching. So if the bar's here, most people when they bench, you want to keep your wrist in a straight line. Most people will bend their wrist back like this. And when the bar's sitting here, all that weight gets put into your wrist. As you're lowering and pressing, you want to keep your wrist in a straight line. So the beautiful thing about wrist wraps is when you pop them on the right way, so just like this, you want to take the wrist wrap, and what you want to do is you want to cover the distance between the lower part of your hand and part of your wrist, so it helps you to bridge that gap. You want to keep it in nice and tight. What you're gonna do is wrap it around, keep that tension there, Velcro it on. Some people choose to like to leave the little finger strap or the thumb strap on there. You don't have to, but what you can see here is once it's tight, my wrist, even if I wanted to, I'm not gonna be able to like bend it all the way back because the wrap right here is helping to give me that stability right there. So this is proper alignment. Your wrist and your elbow are in alignment, not kind of, well, you guys can't really see, but like off center like that. So wrist wraps are definitely good. They help to make sure that you're maintaining that proper alignment when you're going through the entire exercise, the entire rep range. Make sure you look into some companies out there that are like going to be durable. A lot of them fray after prolonged periods of use, and you don't want to spend money on them if you do choose to go that route and then have them start fraying on you. It's not really that good of a look. So for people moving on to a little bit of like the deadlift side right now, or when you're doing barbell rows, dumbbell rows, that sort of thing. When these first came out, I remember I was sitting on Amazon. I forget how many years ago that these came out. But these are the VersaGrip Pros. These are leather lifting straps. They're not like the typical band ones that you kind of like have to wrap around the bar. These are just leather. And I can remember when I got these, and they were like, I can't remember, but I got these on Amazon. They were cheap. And if you go on Amazon right now and try to get them, they're like 60, 65 bucks, somewhere up in there. So definitely had these for a long time. They were probably one of the best pieces of equipment that I've ever invested in. And the purpose behind them is when you're training back, and I kind of always go over this with my clients a lot, and I talk with people about this a lot. when you're performing a back exercise, the whole concept is you don't want to be like squeezing the weight as tight as possible. So if you're doing, let's just imagine a lat pull down and the bar's up here. You don't want to be squeezing that bar super tight, essentially wrapping your fingers around, because as you're squeezing, you're going to start feeling tension in your forearms, and it's going to transition in your bicep and your triceps. So what I always like to tell people is make your hand like a hook. Hook it on top of that lat pull down bar, and then you want to pull through your elbows, pulling them almost down and into your sides. What that does is that actually allows you to activate your back more, and you're not going to have to worry about your arms tiring out, especially if you start going down the pull-up lane. You'll see people jump up there and they'll just start going and going and going, and then eventually they're just going so fast that they tire out, and then they jump down, and what are they doing? They're doing this because they're squeezing the bar too tight. Versa grips are good with, like I said, deadlifts, barbell rows, dumbbell rows, lat pull downs to an extent, and basically what you do is you place it around your wrist, like so. Now you have this flap. So what the flap does is the flap you would wrap under the bar or the dumbbell, and then you are basically holding on to the leather like this, so you're creating that hook. So the leather prevents the bar, the dumbbell from slipping out, and then you're able to either do your rows, do your deadlifts, things of that nature. It's a nice little piece of equipment, especially if you really lack being able to get that mind muscle connection kind of going in your back. Definitely recommend some Versa Pros or Versa grips, so I always keep them. Moving on to stretching, I always like to keep this is just an Ethos one. I think I got this from Dick's. This is just a very big, just resistance band. You can do a lot of things with it. You can stretch out your legs, your upper body. Probably what I use this for the most is I call it like a shoulder dislocator drill, but it helps me warm up my upper body. So you just take it, bring it out about shoulder width apart in front of you. What you're gonna do is just come up, bring it all the way, keep your arms straight, bring it back behind you, come all the way up, and you get a nice stretch. It helps to open up from the shoulder, the chest, the back. You can do various leg stretches with these, and it really helps you just to get warmed up. That's something that you guys should be doing before every single lift. Even if you're just gonna do like just straight bench or straight deadlift, straight squat, straight, chest press, lat pull down, pull up, whatever. Always make sure you warm up at least 5 to 10 minutes before you start your workout. It's gonna pay you off in the long run. So one of the kind of last pieces of equipment is, I recently started these about a year or two ago. It's blood flow resistance training, and kind of what you do with these, you might have seen people use them in the gym before, like when they're training biceps and triceps, but essentially it's like a cuff. You stick the cuff up and over your bicep, over your tricep head too. What you do is you grab it, you cinch it down, really nice and tight, fold it over, and then you pretty much just clamp it down on top. So what this is doing is this is restricting blood flow once it goes into your bicep or into your tricep from essentially flowing back out. So it helps you to get a bigger pump. Some people like to do that. I figured that I would like to just try as many training styles as I could. So I have these. I got them off Amazon for like, I think it was $12. And whenever you do train arms, you get a really sick pump. I mean, like veins pop in. As soon as you pop the cuff off, it's just like, you just feel so just full of blood. And the thing with these is you don't ever want to leave them on for longer than 20 minutes at a time. So whether you're doing a bicep or a tricep exercise, you want to leave it on for 20 minutes and then kind of pop it off and then keep it going in that way. So these, if you're into that type of training, you could definitely give them a try. I mean, hey, worst comes to worst, it's only $10, so it's not going to really be all that bad for you. And then last but not least, we kind of have the two essentials, I guess you could say, and that being headphones, because if you show up to the gym without headphones, especially if your gym plays crappy music, it's gonna be a pretty bad workout for you. You need that hype up music, that pump up music, something to get you feeling good. So these are just a pair of Fitbit flyers. They just go right in my ear. They stay in my ear for the most part, which is really good. I don't ever have them falling out. So whether I'm doing cardio or compound lifts or something like that, These have served me well. Had these for probably about 3 or 4 years now. So you definitely need good tunes. And last but not least, always gotta have gum. So me, it's just like a weird thing that I do whenever I'm lifting. I'm always chewing gum, so it just keeps me focused in between my sets when I'm moving from one exercise to the next. Just having something to constantly keep chewing, and at the same time, it keeps your breath feeling minty fresh at the end of the day. And who doesn't love that? So that pretty much wraps it up, guys, as far as all the things that I keep in my gym bag. And like I said, with a lot of these, I'm not always using this stuff like every time I go to lift. I'm using it every now and then when I come back around, because with my programming, I'm usually cycling between different workout styles, focusing on different exercises, trying new exercises, revisiting the old ones. But at the end of the day, this equipment is still nice to have in your back pocket for when you do come up to the time when you might need it. Definitely, if you like any of this stuff, you want to give it a try, I definitely recommend it. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, it's probably been 3 years since the last video came out, but I'm back now. I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent with you guys on a daily basis. So drop a comment down below about some of the new videos that you might want to see, and find you on the next one.